Rhine River, stretching from its alpine origins to a delta that empties into the North Sea. This water lifeline was once considered the most important and largest salmon river in Europe. But the hand of man and the effect of water pollution changed all that.
Until 1955, we used Rhine water to make tea and coffee. But then the quality of the water deteriorated.
Respectfully called Father Rhine, and loved and trusted by the fishermen who relied on their river, it was painful to watch it grow ill. Heavy industry, manufacturing and transportation, all have gravitated to this highly important international waterway. By the 1970s, large quantities of untreated organic waste spawned a surge in the growth of bacteria in the river. The bacteria consumed the oxygen in the water and literally choked the river. In addition, toxic non-degradable heavy metals began to accumulate in remaining fish and river sediment as mercury and cadmium pollution of Rhine sludge reached a peak. Aquatic fauna diminished considerably. Sensitive insects and fish died out. To combat this acute contamination, the International Commission for the Protection of the Rhine, the ICPR, mounted a number of projects. Major industrial plants, along with towns and communities, began discharging their effluent into wastewater treatment plants, instead of directly into the river.
The water quality of the Rhine has improved in the last 30 years. 30 years ago, the Rhine was a symbol of a river that had been destroyed by humans. In the last 30 years, many billions have been spent on cleaning wastewater. You can see the result on this curve that shows the percentage of oxygen, which was very low in the 1970s, and from then on increased again, or on the amount of animal species that lived in the Rhine. In the 1970s, most species died, but the Rhine has been recovering ever since, and right now we have almost as many species as we did 100 years ago. That's a positive development.
Yet even with the success of these cleanup and preventive measures, pollution might still flow into the Rhine. In November 1986, disaster struck. A fire broke out in Scheißehalle. Extremely toxic chemicals went into the river, killing fish and animals as far downstream as the lower Rhine, and impacting the daily life and finances of all those touched. The Scheißehalle disaster led to the institution of an ICPR surveillance system focused on reacting quickly to accidents as well as preventing them. Currently, 9 international monitoring stations, ranging from Reckingen in Switzerland to the 3 arms of the Rhine in the Netherlands, continually record water data. In addition, 20 national measuring stations monitor the Rhine and its tributaries. These surveillance stations work to identify main sources of pollution and determine whether anti-pollution measures taken are successful. In order to respond quickly to such a possibility, the ICPR has installed computerized warning and alarm systems to alert all downstream communities, farmers, industries, and nations. By using these new systems, authorities can now quickly and accurately predict the journey of a wave of pollution in the Rhine and its probable level of contamination. A project called Salmon 2000 has been introduced into the improved waters of the Rhine, aimed at helping salmon return from the seas and migrate up a portion of their former river habitat. The fact that it is working is significant.
The return of the salmon is an indication of the quality of the water. It's a perfect fish for fishing and for consumption. So when they exist in the river, the water's clean, and that's important.
With a vibrant ecosystem emerging and water quality improving, the story of Father Rhine has taken an encouraging turn, and with proper care, the river will continue to heal itself. But success on the Rhine does not provide every answer to the world's water pollution problems.